My name is Abdullah Awwad, and I'm from Beit Sahur. And my grandfathers are the shepherds who received the good news about the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ in Bethlehem. I am the ancestor of the shepherds. 1969, I had a contract with the Sunusi royal regime there, but Qaddafi took over 3 months later. I went there in May, he took over in the 1st of September. So I had to work for Qaddafi. I worked there for 8 years and I came back in 1977. I call them the hard days of Libya, but they were full of experience. And this experience helped me in my future career. I was his first press secretary and he trusted me very much because I was frank and I was straightforward. He was very suspicious, even from his wives. But for me, he was very, very confident. He was obsessed with power. And he thought himself the king of kings and the emperor of emperors. And he treated everybody like, you know, down. But for me, he was very generous and very, you know, good for me. Once there was a coup d'etat against him from the Minister of Interior and the Minister of Defense, and I was supposed to cover the trial, and I covered it from my own point of view. You see, he was in his tent looking at the television, and he didn't like it, and he said, "Abdullah, you didn't do the good job." I said, "I did what I felt was right," you know. They gave me a small film about the trial, and they gave me 5 or 6 pages of transcript about the trial. So I had to adjust the film with the script. I had to, you know, to omit many of the script which he wrote himself, and he didn't like it. He wanted the whole script to be done, to be you know, read, and a very small film about the trial. And it didn't fit. I didn't do it on purpose, but it was a technical thing. And this added to his respect, really, because I told him it's nothing to do with politics. You know, it's just a matter of technical, you know, operation. I was worried about my people here, my family here, and to tell you the truth, I missed this place because this place was paradise to me. So when I came back, when I said I didn't want to tell him that I'm leaving for good, otherwise he wouldn't let me. So I left my car, I left my home, I left my furniture, everything, and just took my 2 kids, the doctor who is now a doctor and the other one who is now the president of an oil company in Houston. I took them together with me and my wife, and I said goodbye and never came back. I don't know what happened, and I never went back to Libya. I left everything there for the sake of sparing my life and the life of my children and my wife. Yeah, but it was worth. From that moment, I felt that God was holding my hand and leading my steps. The moment I came, I was the deputy headmaster of a Lutheran school in Beit Sahur, the German school in Beit Sahur, until I retired. So it was the Lord's demand to come back. And I came back at the right time, and I left there at the right time because Libya started to deteriorate, you know, because of his spending of the money here and there in Ireland on the Irish Republican Army and in here and there, I know, while his people were dying out of hunger and poverty. These are despots. These are the what we call them, the benevolent despots, or whatever you call them. But I didn't like his way of treating his colleagues even. He treated everyone, you know, in a, what do you call it in English, you know,
from a condescending way?
Yes, descending way, yes. You know, but you see, when you lose your money, you lose a lot of things, you know, but when you lose a good friend, you lose more. But when you lose your dignity and your self-respect, you lose everything. And I didn't want to lose my dignity and my self-respect, so I left at the right time. My daily duty was to prepare a bulletin for him, you know, what the whole world speaks about Libya, you know, and I used to give it to him at 12 midnight, and he used to wait for this bulletin with eagerness. And any conference, whether in Algiers or in Tunis or in Tripoli or in Benghazi, I used to be there with him. So I met all the Arab leaders from Abdel Nasser until everybody. He thought himself the successor of Abdel Nasser. Oh yes, yeah. It was really fun to do this, because I like, you know, news media, and I like to work with news. Yes, and I translated most of his speeches, you know, simultaneous translation sometimes.
Wow.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes. And once in the airport, there was a American what do you call it, base there, and he liberated it, as they say. Yeah, so he gathered all the Arab leaders in that base, and I was there with him. Wow. That was you know, I call them the hard days of Libya, really. I was young and, you know, full of life, and the days of youth are the days of glory. But now I wouldn't dare to go there, even look at Libya, although he was a despot. But look what happened after him. It's a chaos. Today, 40 soldiers were killed in Benghazi. 40 soldiers were killed. And sometimes I wonder, God help me, I wonder why does God allow this thing to happen? You know, they were very despots there, but at least there was no war. There was no democracy, that's for sure, but there was no killing or no bloodshed. Everybody wants to be the leader, you know, when the big boss goes away.